Hi Aquarius, welcome to How I Love Tarot. This is your last week of September love reading, a little bit of a general reading, but here goes. We got for you the Nine of Swords in the upright position, Death and Rebirth. We have the Hangman in the reverse position, Eight of Swords in the upright. We also have two cards that came out together. We have the Devil and we have the Eight of Cups for you. So Spirit, can you bring forward what's going on with Aquarius and what they need to know? What will help Aquarius in this last week of September that they're dealing with? So it looks like, the energy I get for you, Aquarius, is that you feel very much alone. I feel here that there has been a lot of triggering for you, and there has been a lot of things from the past that continue to play on your mind. So there's been this kind of bottleneck of emotions that you have been going through. Nonetheless, as we come into the last week of September, I feel here that the stress of that has pushed you into a space of, you know what, I can't be dwelling on this anymore. I have got to move out of this space. It doesn't serve me. This situation doesn't serve me. I cannot keep grieving for something or wanting something that I know will never be there. And so we have the Hanged Man over here. What's so funny is you're going in and out of the energy. It's kind of like we have stress and then transformation and difficulty in seeing things a new way, and then we have the stress again, and then we have the obsession, the obsessive thoughts, and then we have the final outcome. So it feels like you're meandering, and it feels to me like you've been meandering for a while in regards to the triggers that are kind of coming forward right now in your life. Now, when you think about triggers, Aquarius, think about anniversary dates, birthdays, significant dates. Or think about your five senses, right? It's not just those things. It's not the obvious. Like, you could be watching television and unconsciously get triggered because there's a scene in a TV program, or you're listening to music or something, or you're having a conversation and the trigger is embedded. It's not really that noticeable at times. And so that's what it feels like. It feels like you kind of don't know why you're feeling what you're feeling. You're wanting this new beginning. You're struggling with it though, and there's been a lot of rumination about what to do and how to move forward. But what's so beautiful in the outcome is the Eight of Cups. It feels like what you're going to do is move towards your happiness. You know that the hurt and the pain, the sadness is going to forever be there. So you've gone through something quite profound in your life that has a long lasting impact on your life. And it doesn't mean that you won't be happy. It doesn't mean that you can't be in love. It doesn't mean that you can't have joy and freedom and peace of mind. But the tapestry of our life is a tapestry of our life, and if you pull on a thread, it's going to pull. It's kind of like scratching a wound that has been scarred over. If you keep on scratching it enough, it will bleed again. If you keep on let's say it's completely healed over and you keep on scratching at it, it's going to continue to hurt because it was already vulnerable to begin with. So it feels as if you kind of have enough, and you decide that the only way out is to get out of your own head, get out of your own torture, self-torture. It does feel like it feels here for me, Aquarius, that you're alone. Now you may be in a relationship, or you may be dating somebody, and you may be, I'm not saying that you're like physically alone, but I gotta say, for a lot of you who may be watching this reading, I feel like you're physically alone. And so for those of you that are not, what may be happening is that you don't feel supported in the relationship, or you don't feel like the person is hearing you, and you don't feel like they understand your pain. and what you are going through, and they don't understand how to help you. And so it feels like you're giving of your energy rather than you being able to get soothed within your energy. So just a little bit of give and take going on here, where you, part of it, Aquarius, is that you're not verbalizing enough that you need someone to listen to you. Because I feel like you're the kind of person that if somebody is suffering, somebody's going through something, you're like, how can I help? How can I help? And you'll put your own issues aside and concerns aside, even though you may have been the one to call them up to get some advice, right? And then they start talking about their stuff. And so part of what needs to happen is you do need to be a little bit more assertive, Aquarius, and you need to say, hey, I'm dealing with this. What do you think? Ask for feedback. Those of you that are in a situation, in a relationship, I don't feel like it's going to change. I don't necessarily feel like you have to change it. I don't feel like you have to get out of it, but I feel like you do have to get out of your own head. I do feel like you're going round and round and round in circles, and at some point that's going to have to stop, and I see that stopping right here. When Spirit, how does this happen? How do they? So Spirit says a forced exit. Well, what the hell does that mean, Spirit? A forced exit. Push comes to shove, Spirit World is saying. Push comes to shove, and you're just sitting in this kind of 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords, devil energy, ruminating, being in the dark about things, the darkness, right? Just kind of like fed up with being unhappy, fed up with just kind of getting through the day. And so push comes to shove within you, and you're like, this is not going to change. I can sit here and ruminate about this all day long, or I can actually begin to seek my happiness. And that's what I see you doing right here at the end. Is I do feel like you meander throughout the week, because this is a last week of October reading. This may have something to do with a full moon. I'm not an astrologer, so there may be something pulling on your sign astrologically, but you're feeling things quite deeply. So even if you are in a relationship, take care about doing anything about confrontation. I wouldn't do that in this headspace, because this headspace does not show clarity. This headspace shows being overwhelmed. This headspace shows that you need a break from your life. It doesn't show that you've come to a final answer and you can see what needs to happen. So those of you that are in a relationship and you're thinking about, I need to get the hell out of here. Listen, unless there's abuse involved, you don't need to get out of there today. All right, you just need to get out of this space where you're worrying so much. And so this is where I think it's important for you to reach out to whoever you need to reach out to and be clear and say, this is my problem. What do you think? How should I handle this? Because I think people take for granted, Aquarius, that you don't need any help because you don't ask for it. You may think you're asking for it when you pick up the phone and, because that's for you, that's asking, right? When you pick up the phone or when you get together with somebody, that's your way of saying, hey, I need to unburden as well. But unless you're very direct, Aquarius, people don't realize that that's what you need. So just be more vocal to friends and family that you are trusting, can be objective with you. You do not want to talk to people that are going to encourage, if you're in a relationship, you don't want to talk to people that will encourage you to leave the relationship, because it can't be anybody else's opinion. It has to come from your heart, your soul. You can't get the peanut gallery involved with such a big decision in your life. So those of you in a relationship, please don't make a decision, just talk to somebody objective. But I do feel like you free yourself from this. I do feel like you move towards the light. I do feel like something shifts quite abruptly in your energy again towards the end of the month. Very, very, like September 30th, that's the date Spirit is giving me. So if those of you that are struggling, please hold out until that date, try and make it through. and reach out and just talk to somebody confidentially that you trust, that can be objective, but be very direct in what it is that you need. Express your needs, Aquarius. I hope that helps. I will talk to you soon.